Faisal, can you mute yourself? ওখান থেকে background noise আসছে মনে হয়। Okay, I guess the recording has started, so let's dive into today's lecture. Okay. So so can you hear me well? All of you can hear me well, right? Nikina?
Yes, sir.
Great. So we were discussing about decision tree last class, but we did not finish our discussion on decision tree. So we will continue our discussion on decision tree. But I hope you remember so far that in case of decision tree, what we do is we learn from the training set, okay? And when we learn from the training set, we have a model, okay? And how does this decision tree model look like? So if you have a training set like this way, a decision tree model would look like something like this. So you've got a tree-like diagram where each of these non-leaf nodes are basically the features that we have, like homeowner, marital status, that's another feature, income, that's another feature, right? Okay, all right. And your leaf nodes are the decisions, okay? That is, in this example, the decisions are the target classes are yes and no. So yeah, in the leaf nodes you've got no or yes. Is that okay, Nakina? Clear? Is that okay? That's how the decision tree looks like, right, Nakina? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Right. So we know that given a training set, what a decision tree learns, it learns a model like that, okay? And which helps us, so if you have a new data, okay? So if you already have a model, so this is the model that we have, okay? All right. So if you have a new data, that's the test data over here, the new data, how can we predict whether it's a yes or a no for this particular instance? So the very first attribute we look into is a homeowner. Is it a homeowner? The answer is no. He's not a homeowner, so I take the right branch, it's no. So the next attribute we're going to check is the marital status. So the marital status is married. So because he's married, I would go to the right, okay? And the answer is no. So we've reached the decision no, and therefore this would be no. That's our prediction, right? That's how basically your decision tree helps you to make an inference. Is that clear, Nakina? Is that idea okay? Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But now what we need to really learn is how from the training set do we actually make this decision tree? That's something we are interested to know, right, Nakina? Okay. How do we do that? It turns out there could be many different kinds of decision tree for the same single data set. Like this is a different data set. This is a different decision tree that's actually being created from the same data set we have. Now here, the first thing that we check on is the marital status, whereas over here, the first attribute we check on is the homeowner, or is that person a homeowner or not, right? So we could have different decision trees. In fact, there are many different many decision tree algorithms, like the Hans algorithm, the CUT algorithm, ID3, C45, and so on, right? So these are many decision tree algorithms. So how do we make a decision? Okay, so one of the things that we do is like, we look at an attribute, for example, here, homeowner. So if we classify using a homeowner, we see that homeowner can be either a yes or a no. Then if it's a yes, okay, we see that three of them, there are three instances for which it's yes. So these are the three instances, yes, yes, homeowner is yes, yes, and the other one, yes, is here. And for each of the yeses, the answer is no. So because this is pure, there is no mix up between no or yes. So I could just say, well, you reach the decision no. Okay, right? But if the homeowner is no, look at this. How many homeowners are no? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There are 7 no's. Out of these 7 no's, 4 of them, the answer, the target class is no, and the 3 of them are yes. Like for example, this one is no. For this one, that's no. That's the second no. For this one, that's yes. For this one, that's a no. And for these 3, this is yes, no, yes. So how many yeses are there and how many no's are there? There are 1, 2, 3 yeses and 4 no's. So there are 3 yeses and 4 no's. তাহলে এখানে আমি কি পেয়েছি 3 no's and 0 yeses. So it's a pure class or not, or mixed up class. What do you think for this one?
It's a pure class.
It's a pure
Yes,
class.
sir.
So I can reach a decision. A homeowner যদি yes হয়, the answer is prediction is no because it's pure, right? But now we have a mixed up four no's and 3 yeses. So what do we do? 4 no's and 3 yeses. Then we need to split it up further. How do we split it up? You can use a different attribute to split it up. Let's say so 4 and 3. That means there are 7 instances for this. So out of the 7 instances, if you use a marital status, then 4 of them comes here. 1 and 3 makes 4, and the rest 3 here. So that's 7. So if you say marital status যদি married হয়, তাহলে you see 3 no's and 0 yeses. So because it's a pure class, so we can make a prediction that this is no. But here we have 1 no and 3 yeses. Okay. So here's again you have some sort of what a hybrid class, right? Again, a mix-up class. Clear? Yes, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but
Yes,
since this is a pure class, I could just say this is no, right? Now this is a hybrid class, so we can further split it, and in fact we can split it using annual income. And if annual income smaller than 80k হলো no, and larger than equal to 80k হলো yes যদি করি, তাহলে দেখা যায় এখানে একজন no থাকে and 0 yeses, so that's a pure class, so we can make a decision no. আর এখানে 0 no's and 3 yeses, so that's also a pure class, so we can make a decision yes. So now we have reached all these decisions here and here, right? And this is how our decision tree for this data set would look like. Clear, Nakina? Is that okay? Yes?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right? So far, so good?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Of course, there are a number of questions you can have in your mind. The first question that you can have in your mind is, how did we make a decision there? The first one, প্রথম যে স্প্লিটটা করব, I'm going to make the split using the homeowner attribute. Why are you using the homeowner attribute? Why not I split it using marital status or annual income? Right, Nakina? That's a very valid question. Clear, Nakina? Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Right. Second important question, I think somebody probably asked me in the last class, how did we make this decision? The marital status ke amri single and divorce ke একই ইয়াতে রাখলাম আর married ke আলাদা রাখলাম. Why did we do that? Why didn't we have 3 of them? Single, divorce, and married, or single accident, married and divorce accident. ঠিক আছে? How do we make those sort of decisions? That's also a very important question to ask, right, Nakina? Right? Yeah. So we're going to look at all these details today. And the third very important question to ask is the annual income. Now look at this annual income. This is a continuous attribute, right, Nakina? Because the values are continuous values. Clear, Nakina? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Marital status, what kind of value is this?
Your discrete, sir.
Discrete.
Or categorical value. So the marital status attribute is a categorical attribute. Clear, Nakina? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What about homeowner? What kind of values does this variable have?
Categorical, sir.
Categorical or discrete, right, Nakina? Yeah. Okay. So this is discrete attribute. This is discrete attribute. This is continuous attribute. So annual income is a continuous attribute. How did we come up to the decision? I mean, 80k দিয়ে মানে করব, split করব. Why not 70k, or why not, I don't know, 90k, right? Why 80k? How did we make those decisions, right? So these are important questions that we have in a decision tree, which we would hopefully answer today. Are we good so far, Nakina? So far, so good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now আমাদের এখানে যখনই decision tree use করব, কখন, when we say that we have reached a decision, can anyone say that? When can I say that we have reached a decision?
Sir, pure class হলে
Right. Whenever we, we actually come to a pure class, like for example here, that's a pure class, 3 no's and 0 yeses. That's a pure class, 3 no's and 0 yeses, and that's a pure class, 0 no's and 3 yeses, right? Whenever we reach these pure classes, that's when we are making a decision, right, Nakina? Is that okay? Yeah? এতটুকু সবার ঠিক আছে? Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Yes? Hello? সবাই ঠিক আছে?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right, good. So, yes, so there are a lot of design issues we have now. So some of the design issues we have include questions like, how should the training reports be split? how would I split these training records? ঠিক আছে, এই যে ট্রেনিং রেকর্ডটা আছে এটাকে স্প্লিট করব কিভাবে? How shall I split it using the homeowner attribute? Shall I split it using the marital status attribute? How do we make that decision? So that's a very, very important question that we have, and we can look at that. Second question that we have is, how should the splitting procedure stop? When would I make a decision that we have, made enough split, we should stop? Okay, right? So that's also a question that we would answer, but this is something probably we will not answer today, but this is something probably we'll discuss maybe tomorrow if we have time, when we will talk about model overfitting. Okay, so if we have time to talk about model overfitting, so that's when we're going to talk about these issues as well. Okay, awesome. So now we did discuss that. These are the things we did discuss in the last class, but let's have a look, okay, before we start with today's stuff. Okay, now if we have categorical attribute, your categorical or discrete attribute could be either a nominal attribute or a ordinal attribute. Remember that, Nakina? Nominal attribute mane ki? What does the nominal attribute mean? Anybody remembers what's a nominal attribute?
So it doesn't have any ordering.
Sorry, say that again.
So the
Less than
attribute
greater than না
doesn't
থাকলে
have any
order
ordering.
না থাকলে
Simply the values of that particular attribute do not have any order, right,
Yes.
Nakina? Yes,
Yes.
that's what it means. Now, marital status have 3 values. Okay, marital status is an attribute which could have 3 values. Any instance has 3 values, which is single, divorced, and married. Say, okay. Now, there are a number of ways we could split. We could split according to multi-way. We can do multiple splitting, like single, divorced, or married, or we could do binary split. Okay, so how do you do binary split? So duto je kono dutake amra we could combine them. So for example, we could have marital status married ekdike, single and divorced ekdike, বা single ekdike, married and divorced ekdike, অথবা single and married ekdike, divorced ekdike. I could split it in different ways, right? Clear? So I could do binary split, or I could do multi-way split. So there are many different kinds of splitting that are possible. Which one is the best splitting? Is this the best splitting? Is the multi-way splitting the best splitting? Or is it the binary split the best splitting here? If binary split is the best splitting here, which one would be the best splitting? Is this one the best splitting? Is this one the best splitting? Or is this one the best splitting? So these are, certain design questions we have, and we will answer it today. Okay, how we gonna do the splitting? Okay. For ordinal attribute, where the values of a variable, categorical attributes or discrete attributes could be either nominal attribute or ordinal attribute. But in case of ordinal attribute, the values that a categorical attribute have, they have some relationship. Okay, comparison relationship. For example, let's say one of the categorical attribute that we're measuring is the size of a shirt, and size of the shirt has 4 values: small, medium, large, extra large. Imagine. Okay, right? Now clearly there is a relationship between small, medium, large, and extra large. Okay, we could compare them. Okay, so extra large is larger than large, which is larger than medium, which is larger than small. So there is a greater than relationship between them. So again, in case of ordinal attributes, we could do multi-way split. So that would be like this. So you split it into 4 parts. Or you could do binary split, where you have to group them. But because it's an ordinal attribute, you should preserve the order property among the attribute values. So for example, small and medium on the one side, large and extra large on the other side. Or small on the one side, medium, large, and extra large on the other side. But this one does not preserve the order attribute, where small and large are on one side and medium and extra large on the other side. Is that okay, Nakina? Clear?
Yes, sir.
So here again, the question is, which kind of splitting would be the best splitting? Okay? So these are certain questions we would have, and we would like to answer this question. Okay. For continuous attributes like annual income, I could also do binary split. Like I could check, well, annual income, is it greater than 80K or smaller than 80K? Or we could do multi-way splitting, like 4 bhage bhag kolam, percentile way, less than 10K, 10K to 25K, 25 to 50, 50 to 30, 80 to 80 and above. So we could divide it in equal part. That's what we can do as well. So again, the question is, for the particular data set in question, is binary split better or is multiple split better? So these are certain questions we would like to answer today. All right, so have we then start? Let's get started, Nakina. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so far that's what we have done in the last class. Okay, now here's a small fun data set that we have. Now in this data set, we have got 20, instances. So these are your instances you have. How many instances do you have?
20.
20. So there are only 20 instances. This is instance number 1, instance number 2, and so on up to instance number 20. Okay. All right. Now let's imagine these are what we measure. We have a customer ID, gender, card type, and chart size. Egola diye I'm going to classify a particular instance as belonging to class 0 or class 1. Is that okay, Nakina? Clear? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So let's say I want to now, come up with a decision tree. And the objective of the decision tree is to, using this data set, it's going to learn how to actually find out what kind of class does a particular instance belong to. Does it belong to class 0 or class 1? So there are 20 records over here, or 20 instances here. 10 of them would belongs to class 0 and 10 of them belongs to class 1. So here's the first 10 over here. You can see belongs to class 0. The instance number 11 to 20, they belong to class 1. Is that okay? So now the first thing, because this is the decision tree, we're gonna split. So which one would be the best attribute to start the splitting? Will I use gender to make the split? Should I use the card type to make the split? Should I use the chart size to make the split? Or should I use the customer ID to make the split? Ideally, we should not have customer ID in the training set. Then training set customer ID ta amader bad dawa uchit na clear? Yes. But then again, I want the decision tree to make the decision there, which is the best one. So here, if I use gender to make a decision, well, we have gender values could be yes or no, right? But yes means, let's imagine males are yes, and no means females and no, let's say, or whatever it may be, doesn't matter. Okay. So males or females. Okay. So if we have gender as males, let's say 6 males belong to class 0, 4 females belong to class 1. So 4 of them belongs to class 1, 6 of them belongs to class 0. So, okay, not males and females. Okay, so if we have males, 6 of them belongs to class 0 and 4 of them belongs to class 1. If we have females, 4 of them belongs to class 0 and 6 of them class 1. Right? Is that okay? All right. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Right. So if we divide by card type could be family, sports, luxury. So this is the distribution we have. So if this is family, there are altogether 4 of them are there. 1 of them belongs to class 0. 3 of them belongs to class 1. For sports, 8 of them belongs to class 0, but none belongs to class 1. For luxury, 1 of them belongs to class 0 and 7 of them belongs to class 1. Okay. Now for customer ID, because customer ID is unique, so so if we have 20 customers, so we would actually eventually have 20 partitions, right? Yeah, C1 to C20. Clear?
Sir.
Yes. And for each of them, we would have a unique value. For example, for customer 1, he belongs to class 0. So class 0 is 1, but class 1 is 0. Correct? For customer number 10, for example, here, if you look at customer number 10, he belongs to class 0. So class 0 is 1, class 1 is 0. Correct? But for customer number 11 is belongs to class 1. So class 1 is 1 and class 0 is 0 and so on. Clear? Now, these are the different attributes we can use to split. Okay, and we can also use short size to split. But here's our question that we would like to pose. Which test condition is the best? How do we make that decision? So that's something we would like to decide. Any idea which one would be the best attribute to split? What do you think?
স্যার এখানে কাস্টমার আইডিটাই মনে হয়
Customer ID, but customer ID, is it a, should it be
it shouldn't be.
a good thing to use
No,
to
sir, it
split?
shouldn't be.
No.
স্যার
তাই
যে
না?
অ্যাট্রিবিউটটার জন্য বেশি আমি ট্রু রেজাল্ট পাচ্ছি বেশি পরিমাণ
জি স্যার, আবার বলেন।
স্যার সে স্যার জেন্ডার থেকে যদি নেই স্যার যে জেন্ডারের যে
That's a different thing. আপনার কাছে কোনটা মনে হয়? Which one do you think is the best attribute in this case? আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে, let's see. So how do we determine the best attribute? Okay, how do we determine the attribute which is the best one to split? Okay, now what we tend to do in a decision tree algorithm, we use a greedy approach. And what is our greedy approach? We would choose that particular attribute which would result in a more purer class distribution, right, Nakina? Is that okay? Yes.
ইয়েস স্যার
আমি ওই অ্যাট্রিবিউটটাকে প্রেফার করব which would split it such that we have more purer class distributions, right, Nakina? Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do it recursively all the time. This is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to use a greedy approach to do that. So here's an example. Now, if we use one particular, let's imagine here. All right, let's just take an example here. So ধরো আমি এমন একটা অ্যাট্রিবিউট ইউজ করলাম, অ্যাট্রিবিউট ইউজ করবার পর I'm getting this as one class. ঠিক আছে? ক্লাস 0 5টা, ক্লাস 0 তে 5 জন আছে, ক্লাস 1 এ 5 জন আছে। আবার আমি আরেকটা অ্যাট্রিবিউট ইউজ করলাম, যেটা ইউজ করে আমি এই নোটটা পেলাম, ক্লাস 0 তে 9টা আছে, ক্লাস 1 এ একটা আছে। Now which one has more purer class distribution? Is it the one on the left or is it the one on the right?
Right, sir.
The one on the right, right? Because if you see, the one on the left has 5 belonging to class 0 and 5 belonging to class 1. That's more, I would say that's not pure. That's the more impure one, right, Nakina? Clear? Yes? Equal number of instances from class 0 and class 1. Correct, Nakina? Yes? ঠিক আছে? আর এখানে দেখো 10টার মধ্যে 9টাই belongs to class 0 and there is only one that belongs to class 1. So impurity is 1 out of 10. Correct, Nakina? Or ekhane impurity is 5 out of 10. Is that right, Nakina? Yes? So can I say that this distribution has a low degree of impurity? Yes? And this distribution has a high degree of impurity? Can I say that? Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but that's what I can say by looking at it. Kintu I now need a metric. With which I can actually measure this degree of impurity. How can I measure this degree of impurity? It turns out that there are three very popular ways of measuring the degree of impurity. One of the ways I can measure the degree of impurity is something called Gini index. We'll see what it means. Another measure of impurity is using a concept called entropy. Okay, right? The concept has been derived from information theory. And there is a third way of measuring the impurity, okay, how much impurity is. It's using something called misclassification error. Is that okay, Nakina? Clear? Okay. So AJ, আমি যে এটা দেখে বললাম যে this has lower degree of impurity compared to this has a higher degree of impurity. এটা তো আমরা দেখে বুঝতেছি it has a higher degree of impurity and this is a lower degree of impurity, right, Nakina? Clear? But we would like to measure it, right? So I don't know, we have some formulas or some metrics that we have with which we can actually measure. Now these metrics, there can be a number of metrics like Gini index, entropy, and misclassification error. এতটুকু কি ক্লিয়ার নাকি না? Is that okay? নাকি না?
স্যার ইমপিউরিটিটা স্যার আবার একটু বলবেন?
কোনটা?
ইমপিউরিটি?
স্যার আমাদের আইডিয়াটা কি, আমরা কি করতে চাই ডিসিশন ট্রিতে, আমরা কি করতে চাই? We always prefer a purer class distribution, তাই না? দেখেন না আমরা ডিসিশন ট্রিতে কি করেছি। When did we reach this decision? আমরা এই ডিসিশন রিচ করতে পেরেছি দেখেন এইখানে, এইখানে আর এইখানে। am I correct নাকি না? Yes?
ইয়েস স্যার।
কেন? কারণ এখানে আমরা ডিসিশন রিচ করতে পারছি। Why did we not have to split any further here?
স্যার এখানে স্যার একটা সাইডের অ্যান্সারই পাইছে, আর একটা সাইডের অ্যান্সার নাই আর কি, জিরো।
তার মানে isn't it pure? সবকটা belongs to one class, there is nothing from the other class. ঠিক আছে? Is it okay? That's a more pure class distribution.
ইয়েস
তাহলে
স্যার।
pure class distribution মানে কি দাঁড়াচ্ছে? Pure class distribution মানে হচ্ছে something like this. Is it hard to understand? বলেন তো। দেখেন, let's imagine here is a bag. Okay, let's consider two bags. Here's another bag. Okay, all right. And now we have got certain things. Okay, certain particles. So there are red particles here, and there are some blue particles here. Okay, for this one as well, there's some red particles here. And there are some blue particles here. Balen, which bag seems to be more purely distributed?
রাইট সাইডেরটা।
Right side that has purer distribution, correct nakina? Yes nakina?
ইয়েস স্যার।
Yes, purer distribution মানে কি? Does it have high degree of impurity or low degree of impurity?
লো ডিগ্রি অফ ইম্পিউরিটি।
Right, so that's what I'm saying. যে purer distribution means something that has a low degree of impurity. That means there is a more homogeneous collections here, nakina, right? There is a more heterogeneous collections on the left one. Clear nakina? Is that okay?
ক্লিয়ার স্যার।
এই যে আমি যে বললাম এটা মোর পিওর, ঠিক আছে, বা it has low degree of impurity. How do we measure this low degree of impurity? How do we measure this degree of impurity? তাই না? Is that clear নাকি না? Yes?
ইয়েস স্যার।
Okay, so for example এখান থেকে দেখে আমি বলতে পারি, let's use a different color. Red, how many reds are there for here? I could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 red particles. And how many blue particles are here?
5।
Are you sure? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Correct. There are 5 blue particles. What about here? How many red particles are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There are 13 red particles here. How many blue particles are here? 2 blue particles are here. Right? Nakina? Clear?
ইয়েস স্যার।
Yes? Nakina? ঠিক আছে?
ইয়েস স্যার।
এখন আমার কোশ্চেন হচ্ছে এই নাম্বারস থেকে কি আমি বলতে পারবো which one has a low degree of impurity? ঠিক আছে? How do we look at these numbers and say which one has a low degree of impurity? We know which one has low degree of impurity. This one has a lower degree of impurity, right nakina? Yes?
ইয়েস স্যার।
Okay, this one has a low degree of impurity. Now that's fine, but আমার তো আসলে decide করার জন্য I need to use some sort of formula or some sort of metric to measure that, right nakina? Yes?
ইয়েস
There
স্যার।
should be some way I would like to measure that. That's what I'm saying. In order to measure the degree of impurity, we usually have 3 interesting metrics. So these are called Gini index, entropy, and misclassification error. So these metrics are used to measure the degree of impurity in a particular, let's say node. Is that okay, Nakina? ঠিক আছে? Is that
Okay,
fine so far? কিভাবে মেজার করে ওটা তো আমি দেখাবো. Don't worry about that. I'll show you how this Gini index and how this entropy, they measure the degree of impurity. That's a different thing. But these are something that we use to measure the degree of impurity. Is that okay, Nakina?
Yes, sir.
All right? Okay. Now, out of this Gini index and entropy and misclassification error, these two are usually used in decision tree. This one use করতে চাইতে পারেন, but this is something we usually don't tend to use it. ঠিক আছে? Okay, we'll come to that later. এখন let's just discuss this idea. Okay, যে আমরা best splitটাকে কিভাবে বের করব? How do we know which attribute is the best attribute that we can use to split? Okay, আচ্ছা, so this is my step by step means of finding this out. First of all, for a particular attribute, যে কোনো একটা attribute, certain attribute হচ্ছে I don't know, let's say gender বা card type, ঠিক আছে? I want to use one attribute to see যে এই attribute-টা use করে আমি যদি split করতে চাই, how good would it be? ঠিক আছে? So the first thing what we're going to do is, when we have the attribute, we are going to compute the impurity measure. So we're going to compute the impurity measure. How do we measure the impurity? Using this Gini index or using this entropy, we measure the impurity. We will show you how to measure the entropy, don't worry. How to measure the impurity. So first of all, what we're going to do, we are going to compute the impurity measure before we make the splitting. Is that clear? Split করার আগে impurity কতটুকু, impurity degree কতটুকু, we want to measure that. Is that okay? Yes?
Yes, sir.
So before the splitting, impurity measure is given by, let's say, P. ঠিক আছে? আচ্ছা, তারপর আমি কি করি, let's use the metric to split. If I use the metric to split, তাহলে কি হবে? What will happen? Split করবার পর তাহলে কি impurity measure কি হবে? Will it be same or different? It will be now different, right? নাকি না? Yes? ঠিক আছে?
Yes.
Split করবার পর impurity would be different for the different classes we have, right? For the different partitions we have. So let's imagine M is the amount of impurity after the splitting. M is the amount of impurity after the splitting. So it's called a weighted impurity. The weighted impurity কেন বলি? You will see that in a minute. তাহলে আমার split করবার আগে আমার impurity কত ছিল? P. Split করবার পরে impurity কত? M. তোমার কি মনে হয়? Impurity কি split করার আগে বেশি ছিল না পরে বেশি হবে? What do you think? পরে কি বেশি হবে না?
আগে বেশি হবে।
আচ্ছা, হ্যাঁ, split করার উদ্দেশ্যটা কি? What is the purpose of splitting? The purpose of the splitting is that so that when we split it, I make it more homogeneous. তাই না নাকি না? Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I make it more pure, right? নাকি না? So typically M should be what? Smaller than P, নাকি না? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Achha. If M is smaller than P, so the difference between P and M. So what is this P minus M? P minus M is the difference that we have, right? Difference of impurity that we have. Clear nakina? Is that okay? Before splitting and after splitting. Am I correct nakina?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
A difference again, we call it the gain. This difference is what we call the gain. Am I clear? So আমি যখন split করতে চাই, splitting আমি split করার জন্য we have a number of attribute. তাহলে আমার উদ্দেশ্যটা কি হবে? Which attribute should I use to split? The one with a high gain or a low gain?
The one with the low gain.
The one with a
Low gain.
high gain. ঠিক আছে? Not low gain. The one with a high gain is something that I would prefer. Simple. দেখেন এই যে এখানে একটা অ্যাট্রিবিউট, অ্যাট্রিবিউটকে স্প্লিট করবার আগে ইম্পিউরিটি ছিল কত? P. Is that okay নাকি না? Yeah? অ্যাট্রিবিউট দিয়ে যদি স্প্লিট করি, স্প্লিট করলাম ইনটু ডিফারেন্ট নোডস, স্প্লিট করবার পর আমার ইম্পিউরিটি হলো M. তাহলে P impurity বেশি না M এর impurity বেশি? P এর impurity বেশি, am I correct নাকি না? Yes?
Yes, sir.
So P minus M is what? Is a gain. Okay? তাহলে আমি কি চাই? আমি কি do I not want it to make more pure, right নাকি না? More pure class distribution তৈরি করতে চাই না?
জি স্যার এম
Yes, sir.
করতে চাই
মোর পিওর ক্লাস ডিস্ট্রিবিউশন তৈরি করতে গেলে তাহলে এম এর ভ্যালু কি হবে, অনেক কম হবে না বেশি হবে? বিকজ এম ইজ এ ডিগ্রি অফ ইম্পিউরিটি। যদি মোর পিওর হয় তাহলে ডিগ্রি অফ ইম্পিউরিটি কি হবে, কম হবে না?
Yes, sir. কম
কিন্তু
হতে
আমি
হবে।
চাই এমটাকে যত কম পসিবল হোক, সেটা আমি চাই, রাইট? এম যত কম হবে তাহলে পি মাইনাস এম কি হবে,
বেশি হবে।
স্যার বড় হবে, বড় হবে।
বড় হবে, রাইট নাকি না? ক্লিয়ার? দ্য ডিফারেন্সটা বেশি। পি মাইনাস এম বড় হওয়া মানে কি, মানে হচ্ছে আগে অনেক ইম্পিওর ছিল, আই মেড ইট মোর পিওর, রাইট নাকি না? ইজ দ্যাট ক্লিয়ার? সো দ্যাটস ওয়াই দ্য ডিফারেন্স বিটুইন দেম ইজ হাই। ইজ দ্যাট ওকে? ইয়েস,
Yes, sir.
right? So we want the P minus M to be very high. That means this P minus M is what we refer to as gain. We want the gain to be very high. ঠিক আছে? Now, এই যে আপনার এখন different ইয়া আছে, কি বলে, attribute আছে. So which attribute is the best attribute for me to use to split? That attribute would be the best attribute which will result in the highest gain. ঠিক আছে? এই কয়টা attribute-এর মধ্যে যেটা highest gain তৈরি করবে, that is the best attribute over here. Is this clear নাকি না? Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I think এটা তো just theoretically বললাম, একটা example হলে হয়তো বা জিনিসটা আরেকটু clear হবে, right? Yeah? So let's take an example. I want you to see this carefully, okay? So before we actually give you a specific example, here, let's say I didn't split, okay? Before the splitting, okay? Class 0, n00 numbers of instances belong to class 0, n01 number of instances belong to class 1. So before splitting, I did not split. So I measured the degree of impurity, and how much is the degree of impurity? The degree of impurity is P. Is that okay, Nakina? Yes? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now let us say we have got two attributes, attribute A and attribute B. Is that okay, Nakina? I can split it using attribute A, or I can split it using attribute B. Is that okay? Of course, there is a question mark over here. The question mark implies yeah, which one is the best attribute? A attribute দুটার মধ্যে কোন attribute best attribute to split it. Okay, that's what we want to figure out. Yes or no? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Okay. So imagine if I use the attribute A to split, আমি এখানে কিছু জিনিস পেলাম আর এখানে কিছু জিনিস পেলাম. So attribute A এর answer could be yes or no. Yes হলে I have certain things here, and no হলে I have certain things here. Now yes হলে I have certain things here. এখানে কি কি আছে? এখানে আবার ক্লাস 0 তে এতগুলো আছে, ক্লাস 1 এ এতগুলো আছে। আর এখানে আসলে when it's no, you come here, এখানেও ক্লাস 0 তে কিছু আছে, ক্লাস 1 এ কিছু আছে, right না কেন? Okay, আচ্ছা। So what I'm going to do is similarly for B as well. B দিয়ে যদি আমি split করি, B জন্য yes হতে পারে, no হতে পারে। Yes হলে there are certain these many instances are in class 0 and these many instances are in class 1. আর এটা যদি no হয়, these many instances are in class 0 and these many instances are in class 1. Is that okay নাকি না? Yeah? আচ্ছা। এখন আমার কোশ্চেন কিন্তু এখনো রয়ে গেল, A দিয়ে split করব না B দিয়ে split করব? Which one is better? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out, you know, impurity for this class and impurity for this class, impurity for this class and impurity for this class. Now using this impurity for this class and this class, I can produce an weighted impurity. That's why we say we will have a weighted impurity here. ঠিক আছে? And I can find out a weighted impurity for here as well. তার মানে আমি কি করছি? I'm finding out how much is the impurity at the beginning. ঠিক আছে? তারপর আমি ধরা স্প্লিট করছি। Right now forget class B, attribute B. Let's look at attribute A. Let's say আমি attribute A দিয়ে স্প্লিট করছি। করবার পর আমার এখন এখানে দুটো নোড হয়েছে। দুটো নোডের জন্য এখানে তো মিক্সচার আছে, মিক্সচার অফ এন্টিটি ইনস্ট্যান্সেস আছে। So I would have some degree of impurity here as well. I would have some degree of impurity here as well. But I have a degree of impurity here and here. But what's the overall degree of impurity? So I can measure an overall degree of impurity by using something called a weighted degree of impurity. So the weighted degree of impurity is this one. So how much is the impurity before splitting? before splitting, the impurity is P. How much is the degree of impurity after splitting? After splitting, if I split using attribute A, after splitting, the degree of impurity is M1. But if I split it using attribute B, then we have the degree of impurity after splitting would be M2. Is that clear, Nakina? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So how much is the gain that we will get using attribute A? What should be the gain?
P minus M1.
Right? And what should be the gain if we use the attribute B?
P minus M2.
Right. So now we can find out the gain. That's you're correct. P minus M1 for if you're using the attribute A to split, and P minus M2 if we are using attribute B to split. তাহলে এখন এই দুটো অ্যাট্রিবিউটের মধ্যে কোনটা সিলেক্ট করব? The one that would have a
High gain.
High gain.
yes. So that's how we're gonna make a decision, right, Nakina? So we're gonna look at P minus M1 and P minus M2. So that's why I wrote over here versus, because we're gonna compare between them. Whichever one has a higher gain is the better attribute that we can use to split. Is that clear? Is the idea clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir,
Now, of course, just a minute. এমনও হতে পারে যে এখানে যখন আসলাম, এখানে I don't still have a একদম purest ফর্মে যে ক্লাস 0 তে সব আছে, ক্লাস 1 এ কিছু নেই, এরকম নাও হতে পারে. I could still have a mixture. If I still have a mixture, then এটার জন্য আমার আবার বের করতে হবে for this, you know, mixture, which attribute would be the best attribute to again, you know, divide. So I'm going to use this one recursively until, you know, I get a node at its purer form. When we get a node at its purer form, that's it. We made a decision there. Is that idea clear, Nakina?
No, sir. পরের আইডিয়াটা ক্লিয়ার না।
আরে বাবা, আমি অ্যাট্রিবিউট A দিয়ে ধরো ভাগ করলাম, ওকে? আমি নোড n1 পাচ্ছি। এই নোড n1 এ কি আছে? এই নোড n1 এ কিছু ক্লাস 0 আছে, কিছু ক্লাস 1 আছে, রাইট নাকি না? ইয়েস?
Yes, sir.
একদম পিওর তো হয়নি, মানে ইট মে বি পিওরার দ্যান দ্য প্রিভিয়াস ওয়ান, বাট একদম পিওর তো হয়নি, তাই না?
Yes, sir.
একদম পিওর না হলে ক্যান আই জাস্ট সে দিস ইজ ক্লাস 0? ক্যান উই মেক আ প্রেডিকশন ক্লাস 0, or ক্যান আই সে ইটস আ ক্লাস 1? উই ক্যানট, রাইট নাকি না? তাই না? সো উই
Yes,
নিড
sir.
টু ফার্দার স্প্লিট ইট, কারেক্ট?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. বুঝছি, sir.
If we want to further split it, তাহলে তখন আমি ফর এই নোডের যে ডিস্ট্রিবিউশন আছে ক্লাস 0 এবং ক্লাস 1 কতগুলো আছে, সেটার জন্য যেভাবে এটার জন্য আমরা স্প্লিট করে বের করছি কোন অ্যাট্রিবিউট বেস্ট, এখন এটার জন্য আবার we were going to find out which attribute would be now the best to split this one. ঠিক আছে? Okay? Yes?
Yes, sir.
So that's what I mean by we should be using recursively. So that's very clear. That's why these sort of things you get. Look at here. আচ্ছা, এই যে প্রথম হোম ওনার দিয়ে আমরা স্প্লিট করেছি। তো মানে হচ্ছে অ্যাকচুয়ালি we figured out home owner is the best you know attribute to split. So এটা দিয়ে স্প্লিট করে yes এ গেলে দেখা যাচ্ছে purest class পেয়ে গেছি. That was we were lucky, so we could reach a decision. But আমরা নোতে গেলাম যখন, we found that we did not get the purest form. Purest form না থাকলে কি করব? আমার এটাকে আরো ফার্দার স্প্লিট করতে হবে, তাই না নাকি না? ক্লিয়ার?
Yes, sir.
Further split করতে হলে we gonna look for this further split করার জন্য again we have to figure out এই এখন ডিস্ট্রিবিউশনের জন্য which attribute is now the best to split, and we figured out marital status is the best one to split, so we did that. Clear নাকি না? Is that okay? তো যখন ম্যারিড হয়েছে তখন আমরা দেখলাম okay, we got the purest form, great, we reached a decision. But when we come here, we found that still এটা purest form এ নাই। তারপর আমি আবার চেক করছি for this one which one would be the best attribute, and we found it is income, and that's how we split it. Clear নাকি না? Is that okay? So that means একবার split করলে হবে না, we might need to do it recursively. Clear নাকি না? Is that idea okay?
Okay, sir.
Right, so that's the basic idea of how you should actually, you know, split, right? Is that okay? So far so good?
Yes, sir.
If that's okay, now we want to show you how can you actually measure these, how can you split, and how can you do this, how can you measure this impurity. Now, as I said, there are three very popular ways to measure the impurity. One is using something called Gini index. The other is using something called entropy. and the third is there is something called misclassification error. So these are the three measures or three metrics that we can use to measure the degree of impurity. So I'm going to first of all show you how you can use the Gini index, okay, to measure the degree of impurity. Okay, is that fine, Nakina? ঠিক আছে?
Yes, sir.
We can do it using different strategies. We can use Gini index to measure the impurity. We can use entropy to measure the degree of impurity, or we can use a misclassification error to measure the degree of impurity. So let's start with Gini index. Are we good so far? ঠিক আছে?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Gini index. Now I want you to look at it very carefully now. কারণ এখন আমি examples কিছু দিয়ে, concrete examples দিয়ে, I will show you how a decision tree is created. So Gini index is given by the formula 1 minus sigma probability of I of t whole square I equals to 0 to c minus 1. We will see what does it mean. ঠিক আছে? Okay, right. Okay, so we're gonna use this formula over here, right, to find out what's the Gini index. Okay, now let us see an example, and if we see this example, hopefully you'll get this one. Here, let's have a look here. একটু ভালো করে দেখি. Okay, let's say যে একটা নোডে আছি. I'm in a node, ঠিক আছে, where ওই নোডে let's say we have a node, okay, and there are some instances that belong to class 1 and there are some instances that belong to class 2. Is that okay, Nakina? Yeah. Now let's say the probability of the instances in class 1 is p1, and the probability just let's say p. If the probability of instances that are in class 1 is p, what is the probability of instances in class 2?
1 minus 3.
Is that okay, Nakina? Clear, Nakina? Are we fine?
Yes, sir.
ঠিক আছে? Are we okay? Everyone okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. এখন আমি জানতে চাই how much is the degree of impurity using the Gini index. So Gini index এর formula কি? Gini index এর formula হচ্ছে 1 minus sigma I equals to 0 to c minus 1 probability for each of these classes. Okay, তার মানে what would be the Gini index for this particular problem? For this particular problem, the Gini index would be how much? It would be 1 minus, look at the formula, 1 minus, so this is 1 minus, okay, sigma. Sigma means what?
So
What does
summation.
sigma mean? Summation. So I'm going to sum it up. So I'm going to do for each of the classes and I'm going to sum it up. Probability ke square korbo. So for class 1, what's the probability?
P.
The probability is p, so p square plus for class 2. Class 2 জন্য probability কত?
1 minus P.
1 minus p whole square. That's what I'm going to do. Clear, Nakina? Is that okay? All right. So this would be, of course, 1 minus p square minus 1 minus p whole square. And then you could simplify it further. Okay. Right. But I hope you got that. How did we use this Gini index? Right, Nakina? Gini index and measurement কিভাবে করেছে এতটুকু clear, Nakina? Is that okay? Okay. So if that's okay, then why is it so useful? Let's look at a concrete example. Let's look at this example. All right, let's see this example instead. এই এক্সাম্পলটা দেখে আপনাদের হাতে ক্যালকুলেটর আছে সবার হাতে? Can you make sure you have a calculator in hand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So let's look at this example. Let's do it together. ঠিক আছে? So এই example class 1 এ কয়টা আছে? How many instances are there in class 1? একটা, right?
One.
How many instances are there in class 2? 5টা, correct? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So can you tell me what is the probability of instances in class 1? So class 1 এ একটা
by
আছে,
6.
class 2 তে 5টা আছে. So what is the total number of instances we have in this node?
6.
6. So what is the probability that
1
an
by
instance belongs to class 1? 1 over 6, right, Nakina?
Yes.
What is the probability that an instance belong to class 2?
5/6.
5/6.
Is that okay, Nakina? Yes? Yeah? Are we good?
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes,
what
sir.
is the Gini value, therefore? What is the Gini value for this one? So, the Gini index would be equal to 1 minus, okay, 1/6 whole square. So, I'm going to take the probability and square the probability. 1/6 whole square plus 5/6 whole square. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, if you do that, we will get this to be 1 minus, how much is that? 1/6 whole square is 1/36 plus 5/6 whole square is 25/36. That would mean this is 26/36, and 1 minus 26/36 is 10/36. Can you use your calculator to tell me what is 10/36?
So 5/18.
I know, but in decimal, please.
2777.
0.2777, right? And check with that. That's the Gini index value, 0.278. Is it clear? How do we find, how do we use this formula to find the Gini? Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Now let me
Yes,
tell
sir.
you that the formula use kora shekalam. But now let me show you why is this important. ঠিক আছে? আচ্ছা. Okay, to understand why is this one important, look at these examples. Okay, don't worry about the Gini values. এই নোডে কতগুলো ইনস্ট্যান্স ইন ক্লাস 1?
1.
একটা, আর কতগুলো ইনস্ট্যান্সেস আর ইন ক্লাস 2? 5টা, right? What about for this node? There are 2 instances in class 1 and 4 instances in class 2. What about this one? 3 instances in class 1 and 3 instances in class 2. And what about this one? There are no instances class 1 and there are 6 instances in class 2. Now, এই চারটা দেখে আপনার কি মনে হচ্ছে কোনটা সবচেয়ে পিওর? Is it number 1, the first node, the second node, the third node, or the
Number
fourth node?
4.
Which node is the most pure one?
Number 1.
Fourth node.
Fourth node is the most pure one?
Gini index high. So high যেটা সেটা না?
স্যার আপনাকে কি কোশ্চেন করছে, আপনি কি উত্তর দিচ্ছেন? হাই লো কিছু জিজ্ঞেস করি না, আমি আপনাকে এই ইয়ার ভ্যালুগুলা দেখে এই ভ্যালুগুলা ক্লাস 1 ক্লাস 2 তে কতগুলো ইনস্ট্যান্সেস আছে
Sir, class
দেখে
1.
আমি জিজ্ঞেস করছি যে which one seems to be more pure and which one seems to be more impure.
Node on, sir.
Class 1. মানে 1.
আবার ক্লাস 1 বলছে নোড 1 নাকি নোড 2 নাকি নোড 3 নাকি নোড 4?
Node
Node
on.
1.
Node 1 is what?
1.
Pure or impure?
Pure.
Pure.
Node 1 is the most pure, right, Nakina? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
And which one seems to be most impure?
Sir, node 4.
Node 4. Why node 4 is most impure?
50-50.
Yeah, so they have 3 instances from class 1 and 3 instances from class 2. Equal number of instances. So that's the most impure one, right, Nakina? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So node 4 is the most impure one, right? So I'll write down here. Node number 4 is the most impure one. Yes or no? Are we good?
Yes, sir.
নাকি এটা ক্লিয়ার হচ্ছে না?
হচ্ছে স্যার।
আচ্ছা, সো এখন দেখেন এই প্রত্যেকটা নোডের জন্য আমরা গিনি ভ্যালু বের করেছি ইউজিং দ্যাট ফর্মুলা ওভার হিয়ার। ইফ ইউ ইউজ এ ফর্মুলা, এই গিনি ভ্যালুর মধ্যে সবচেয়ে ছোট গিনি ভ্যালু কোনটা?
স্যার 1, node 1.
Node 1. So node 1 has the lowest Gini. Which one has the highest Gini?
So node 4.
Node 4 has the highest Gini. Tale, can I tell you, can I say, okay, lowest Gini for the most pure? Tale, what does Gini measure? Therefore, I could say Gini index measures what?
Purity, sir.
উল্টা স্যার এত খারাপ ম্যাথমেটিক্স হলে তো হবে না।
স্যার impurity.
Impurity.
Sir,
Purity
impurity.
কেন হলো? The degree of impurity. যত বেশি impure হবে তত ইনডেক্স Gini ইনডেক্সের ভ্যালু কি হবে?
তত বাড়বে স্যার।
তত বাড়বে, তত বেশি হবে। That's why দেখেন এইটা হচ্ছে most impure and that's why it has the highest Gini index. Okay? তারপর হচ্ছে এইটা হচ্ছে the next most impure and you can see that 2 of them in belonging to class 1, 4 of them belonging to class 2, and so that's as the next Gini index value. And this is the next impure one of them belonging to class 1, rest of 5 belongs to class 2. It is almost pure but still impure, so this has the next Gini index value, and this one is the most pure one, so this is a Gini value of 0. Clear নাকি না? তার মানে যেটা যত ইমপিওর হবে সেটার Gini index value তত
বেশি হবে।
বেশি হচ্ছে। তাহলে what does Gini measure?
Degree of impurity.
The degree of impurity. Is this clear to everybody নাকি না?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so did you get that? How did we use the Gini index to measure the degree of impurity? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Are we good নাকি না?
Yes, sir.
এখন let's pause a little bit and tell me if there's anybody who has still a little bit of problem with Gini index. বলেন তো কারো Gini index নিয়ে সমস্যা আছে? Are we okay with the Gini index thing? Hello. সবাই ঠিক আছে নাকি না? কথা না বললে তো হবে না।
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's Gini index. So here is Gini index. So now you understand a value গুলো কিভাবে ক্যালকুলেট করেছে এটা দেখিয়ে দিয়েছে। So we already discussed that one. For example, 0 and 6. If a node has no instances in class 1 and 6 instances in class 2, we can find that the probability of instances in class 1 would be 0 by 6, which is 0, and this would be 6 by 6, which is 1. So then 1 minus summation of the square of the probabilities. So 1 minus, so first one is 0 square plus 1 square. So 1 minus 0 minus 1, which is 0. Correct? Clear? So for this one, it should be, এটা আমরা already calculate নিজেরাই করেছিলাম 0.278 ঠিক আছে? What about for this one, 2 and 4 থাকলে এটা probability হচ্ছে 2 by 6, এই class 2 এর probability হচ্ছে 4 by 6, so it would be 1 minus 2 by 6 whole square minus 4 by 6 whole square. Clear? Which would be 0.444. Is that okay নাকি না? Clear? Yes?
sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
and higher the Gini value is, higher is the degree of
Impurity.
Impurity.
not purity. Clear নাকি না? Is that okay? Yes?
Yes.
ঠিক আছে নাকি ঠিক নাই?
ঠিক আছে স্যার।
Okay, now look at over here. I want you to see this one over here. Right, so now look at this original idea we have. Before splitting, we have some instances belonging to class 0, some instances belonging to class 1. এখান থেকে can we not find out the degree of impurity? That is P. Yes or no? মানে Gini index. Can I find out the Gini index?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I can. আচ্ছা তারপর ধরেন A দিয়ে স্প্লিট করলাম, forget B right at moment. A দিয়ে স্প্লিট করলাম, A দিয়ে স্প্লিট করার পর yes এর জন্য এটা পেলাম আর নোড জন্য এটা পেলাম। সো এই নোডের জন্য কি আমি একটা Gini ইনডেক্স বের করতে পারি না?
Yes, sir. পারি।
Yes পারি। এই নোডের জন্য একটা Gini ইনডেক্স বের করতে পারি না?
Yes, sir.
তাহলে ওভারঅল Gini ইনডেক্স কত? ওভারঅল Gini ইনডেক্স মানে হচ্ছে এই দুটো Gini ইনডেক্স ইউজ করে I can find out the overall Gini index. This is called a weighted Gini index. Clear নাকি না? Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now I'm going to show you how to find this weighted Gini index. Okay. All right. All right. So let's say here. So how do you compute the Gini index for a connections or for a connection of nodes? So if you have a number of nodes, okay, yes, how do you find out the Gini index for that? Now this is given by this formula. It's called the Gini split formula. But আমি actually formula তে পরে যাই, ঠিক আছে? Formula তে না গিয়ে let me just show you what happens, ঠিক আছে? I think when you see it, it's much more easier. Okay, so here we have, let's imagine we are splitting using an attribute B. Is that okay নাকি না? Clear? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're splitting using attribute B. If we split using attribute B, now before we split, let's not split it yet. Before we split using attribute B, this is the distribution we have. That is the parent. That's why we wrote its parent. That means parent means we haven't yet split it. Split korbar por we will have two child nodes, right? Nakina. Yes, Nakina. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we didn't split it yet. So before splitting, how many instances are in class 1 and how many instances are in class 2? There are 7 instances that belong to class 1 and there are 5 instances that belong to class 2. Is that okay, Nakina?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And now let's imagine we split it using the attribute B. Now when we split using the attribute B can have 2 values. One is yes, one is no. Correct, Nakina? Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Good. So when we go for yes, when we come over here, okay, to the yes I can ashi, then we get node n1. And যদি node ashi, we get the node n2. What is node n1? Now node n1 এ আমরা যখন এখানে আছি, node n1 এ কয়টা ক্লাস আছে?
C1,
5 of
C2.
them belongs to class 1 and 1 of them belongs to class 2. Right, Nakina? Yes?
Yes, sir.
আর এখানে যখন আসলাম node n2, then 2 of them belongs to class 1 and 4 of them belongs to class 2. Correct, Nakina?
Correct, sir.
তার মানে pictorially I can say before splitting 7 of them belongs to class 1 and 5 of them belongs to class 2. After splitting, when we come here in node n1, 5 of them belongs to class 1, 1 of them belongs to class 2. And for here, 2 of them belongs to class 1 and 4 of them belongs to class 2. Am I correct, Nakina?
Yes, sir.
আচ্ছা, আরেকবার দেখেন ভালো করে, 7 in class 1, 5 in class 2. So altogether কয়টা ইনস্ট্যান্স এখানে?
12.
12. তারপর স্প্লিট করবার পর কি আছে? 6 has gone to class 1 and 6 has gone to class 2. 5 and 1 is 6, 2 and 4 and 6. 6 and 6 কত? ওই সেম 12. এই 12টাকে ডিভাইড 6 তে ডিভাইডেড হচ্ছে। Am I correct নাকি না?
Yes, sir.
Is that okay diagrammatically? Is it okay to everybody নাকি না?
Yes, sir.
ঠিক আছে স্যার, আপনারা কেউ কথা বলছেন না।
ঠিক আছে,
I
স্যার।
don't know, participation is very low. Okay, because these are difficult বলে চুপচাপ বসে থাকতে হবে না। You need to participate so I can correct you. Okay, are we okay, rest of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, ঠিক আছে। এখন we want to find out how much is the Gini index for each of them, right? So before splitting, split করবার আগে এই অবস্থায় ছিলাম না?
Yes, sir.
So can I find out the Gini index before splitting?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is something we have already shown you. 7 belongs to class 1, 5 belongs to class 2. Look at here. Oh, did we not do that? Okay, আমরা করি নি মনে হয়। But can we find out the Gini value টা কত হবে বলেন তো? 7 in class 1 and 5 in class 2 হলে what would be the value of Gini?
1 minus
Probability কত faster?
7 by 12.
7 by 12
Good. 7 by 12
square
whole square
plus
plus
5 by 12
by
whole square.
12 whole square. And of course, if you calculate that, I am sure you'll get this to be equal to 0.486. ঠিক আছে? Is it clear নাকি না? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
So let's say we get the Gini index before splitting. Is that okay নাকি না? Yeah? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, after we have split, now let's split. Split করবার পর কয়টা নোড পাচ্ছি এখানে? How many nodes are we getting?
Sir, 2 nodes.
Let's find out what's the Gini for the second for node n1. Okay, how much is the Gini for node n1? n1 এ কতগুলো 5 instances are in class 1 and 1 instance in class 2. So how do you find out the Gini for node n1? 1
minus
5 by 6 whole square plus 1 by 6 whole square, right Nakina? Yes?
yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is this one 1 minus 5 by 6 whole square minus 1 by 6, but আমরা ব্র্যাকেটে রাখছি দেখে প্লাস আছে, ব্র্যাকেটটা উঠিয়ে দিলে মাইনাস হয়ে যাবে, কারেক্ট নাকি না? Yes?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So if we find that the Gini for node n1, how much is the Gini that we are getting?
0.27.
0.27.
ঠিক আছে? Okay, similarly can I find out the Gini value for the node n2?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so that should be 1 minus 2 by 6 whole square minus 4 by 6 whole square, correct নাকি না? Yes?
Yes, sir.
And which is 0.444, correct?
Yes, sir.
এখন একটা খুব মজার জিনিস দেখেন, আমি স্প্লিট করবার আগে গিনি ভ্যালু কত ছিল?
.486
0.486 রাইট স্প্লিট করবে পরে গিনি ভ্যালু কত নোড n1 এ হচ্ছে 0.278 আর নোড n2 তে হচ্ছে গিনি ভ্যালু কত
0.444
0.444 দেখেন দুটো ক্ষেত্রেই স্প্লিট করবার পরে গিনি ভ্যালু কি কমে গেছে না বেড়ে গেছে
বেড়ে গেছে
কমে গেছে স্যার
কমে গেছে কি বলে উল্টা পাল্টা কথাবার্তা এটা 0.486 এটা 0.278 গিনি ভ্যালু কি কমলো না বাড়লো
কমেছে স্যার
ও স্যার আলাদা আলাদা কমছে স্যার জি স্যার কমছে আলাদা আলাদা
আমি
স্যার
আমি একসাথে থেকে বলছি আমি আলাদা আলাদা কম্পেয়ার করছি 0.486
জি স্যার স্যার কমছে
versus 0.278 or 0.486 versus 0.44 so গিনি ভ্যালু কমে গেছে রাইট নাকি না গিনি ভ্যালু কমা মানে কি has it become more pure or has it become more impure
পিওর
স্যার পিওর
more pure
More
কারণ
pure.
গিনি হাই হবে for higher impurity clear
Yes.
গিনি ভ্যালু কমে গেছে right so that means it has now becoming more and more pure right নাকি না আচ্ছা and of course you could say যে এই যে একটু আগে যিনি একটু ঝামেলা লাগিয়ে ফেলেন যে দুইটা আলাদা আলাদা করবো নাকি ইটস আ ভেরি ভ্যালিড কোয়েশ্চেন দুইটা তো আলাদা আলাদা হয়েছে বাট উই শুড মেজার অ্যান ওভারঅল গিনি ভ্যালু রাইট নাকি না ইয়েস
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 স্যার
স্যার
how do you find the weighted Gini value of the children so this is how you find the weighted Gini value of children now প্রথম দেখি এই নোডে কতগুলা ইনস্ট্যান্সেস আছে বলেন তো
6
how many
instances
instances are 6 instances are in this আর ওভারঅল কতগুলা ইনস্ট্যান্স ছিল এই দুটো মিলা
So 12.
12
12 therefore you will take the fraction of that weighted fraction is 6 by 12 so 6 by 12 times n1 এর যে Gini value which is 0.278 clear নাকি না yes
ইয়েস স্যার
ইয়েস স্যার
plus what about for this one কতগুলা আছে instances
6
still 6 so it's therefore still 6 by 12 right নাকি না clear yes
ইয়েস
ইয়েস স্যার
times এইটার Gini value কত node n2 Gini value কত 0.444 so times 0.444 এখন এক্ষেত্রে ইন্টারেস্টিংলি ইকুয়াল স্প্লিট হয়েছে 6 ইনস্ট্যান্সেস দেয়ার 6 ইনস্ট্যান্সেস হিয়ার এমন যদি না হয় ধরো এখানে 9 ইনস্ট্যান্সেস আসতো আর এখানে ধরেন 3 ইনস্ট্যান্সেস আসতো তাহলে এটাকে 9 by 12 times 0.278 হতো আর এটা 3 by 12 times 0.444 হতো তাহলে তখন তাই না ক্লিয়ার ইজ দ্যাট ওকে
ইয়েস স্যার ওকে
yes so you do that weighted that's why you call it a weighted Gini 6 by 12 of this plus 6 by 12 of this Gini so if you add them up this is the overall Gini so এই দুইটার এখন overall Gini টা কত তাহলে weighted Gini টা কত 0.361 তাহলে আমার before splitting what was the Gini value
0.486
0.486 after splitting what is the Gini value overall Gini value
0.361
0.361 did the Gini value increase or decrease
Decreased.
the decrease
decrease because the Gini value decreased it's becoming more
পিওর
more
Pure.
pure
pure exactly and so how much is the gain remember what was the concept of gain was Gini value before splitting minus the weighted Gini value after splitting correct nakena clear so Gini value before splitting was 0.486 and the weighted Gini value after splitting is 0.361 so 0.486 minus 0.361 is 0.125 that's the gain is that clear nakena yes
ইয়েস
so I hope you have understood how did we measure the gain how did we find out the gain right nakena clear yes
ইয়েস স্যার
yes sir
Yes, sir.
ধরেন এখন আমার কাছে একটা data
Yes,
set
sir.
আছে and I've got 3 attributes A B or C now of course which attribute should I use it to actually which attribute should I use to make the first split A B or C how do I do that আমি এইভাবে করে A B আর C প্রত্যেকটার জন্য গেইন বের করব রাইট নাকি আলাদা আলাদা করে am I correct নাকি না yes
yes sir
এবং কোনটাকে সিলেক্ট করব which one shall I select I shall select that attribute with the
gain
Higher
value
gain,
is
sir.
that attribute with the
higher gain value
বুঝি না, জোরে বলেন।
তো যার গেইন ভ্যালু বেশি।
With the highest gain, exactly, because highest gain মানে কি হচ্ছে, highest gain মানে হচ্ছে it's becoming মানে more pure. Is that clear নাকি না? Yes,
Yes.
right. This is what we do, and eventually you will see যে এই যে ভাগ করেছে, ভাগ করবার পর এটা একদম পিওরেস্ট ক্লাস ডিস্ট্রিবিউশন নাও হতে পারে, in this case না, তাহলে এটাকে আবার স্প্লিট করতে হবে, right, until we get the purest form. Yes, this is how it repeats. I hope you get the point. Don't worry too much যে স্যার আমাদের কি তাহলে এইভাবে ডিসিশন ট্রি বের করতে হলে কি do I have to keep on calculating this way? মানে পরীক্ষার সময় এরকম বারবার ক্যালকুলেশন করতে দেব না। Nowadays we actually can make the decision tree with a single command. ঠিক আছে, একটা সিঙ্গেল কমান্ডে already we have libraries that we can invoke that would make you the decision tree. ঠিক আছে, but you must understand how it's done. ঠিক আছে, is it clear নাকি না? So far so good?
Yes,
ঠিক
sir.
আছে সবাই,
Yes,
is that okay? ঠিক আছে নাকি না? Are we
Yes,
good?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So that's how we find the Guinea. আচ্ছা, এখন এই যে আমরা একটা কোয়েশ্চেন করেছিলাম না, মনে আছে? Let me answer that question now. Okay. Here was a question that some of you probably had, probably last class ছিল, হ্যাঁ, এই যে ম্যারিটাল স্ট্যাটাস অ্যাট্রিবিউটটা, এটাকে যদি আমি স্প্লিট করব, I can split it multi-way, like single এর জন্য, ডিভোর্সের জন্য, ম্যারিডের জন্য, অথবা আমরা বাইনারি স্প্লিট করতে পারবো। এখন বাইনারি স্প্লিট করতে হলে কোনটাকে কাপল করব, ম্যারিডটা এক জায়গায়, সিঙ্গেল ডিভোর্সকে একসাথে করব, না সিঙ্গেলটাকে এক জায়গায়, ম্যারিড ডিভোর্সকে এক জায়গায় একত্রে করব, নাকি সিঙ্গেল অ্যান্ড ম্যারিডটাকে একত্রে রেখে ডিভোর্স থেকে আলাদা রেখে করব, কোনটা করব? হোয়াট উই ডু? বুঝতে পারছি? ইয়েস। সো হাউ ডু ইউ মেক দ্যাট ডিসিশন? সো লেট মি শো ইউ দ্যাট নাও। ইজ দ্যাট ওকে? কোন কোয়েশ্চেনটা দেখছি আমরা নাকি না? Is that okay? So এইগুলোর মধ্যে কোনটা আমরা, which one should we ideally do? Let me show you that now. Okay, so let's see. এগুলো সব clear আমাদের, I hope, right? Now look at this one. Now we are looking at categorical attribute. In categorical attributes, how do you find out the Gini index? Okay, all right. Now let's say we can do multi-way split or we can do two-way split. Let's say, for example, card type. If we do multiple split, so card type could be family, sports, or luxury. Now, family যদি হয়, one instance will belong to class 1 and 3 instances belong to class 2. Sports যদি হয়, 8 instances belong to class 1 and 0 instances belong to class 2. Luxury যদি হয়, 1 instance belongs to class 1 and 7 of them belongs to class 2. Right? Right? Yes, that's clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
yes.
Okay. Can I find out the Gini for this one? এটার জন্য Gini বের করতে পারবো?
Yes, sir. পারবো স্যার।
Right?
Yes, sir.
বের করতে পারবো না নাকি না? পারবো না?
পারবো
স্যার
পারবো।
স্যার এটা কি টোটাল ওয়েটেড গিনি ভ্যালুটা না?
No, no, no. এই just এই নোডের জন্য। Can I find out the Gini? Well, মানে right now we're just looking at just the Gini. ঠিক আছে? Okay. I know what you're saying. The split করবার পর মানে you are asking me split করবার পর যে weighted Gini না, আমি just এটার Giniটাই দেখছি, ঠিক আছে?
মানে স্যার 0.16
It's a weighted Gini, okay? Overall Gini, ঠিক আছে? Weighted Gini,
Yes,
ঠিক
yes,
আছে?
sir.
Is that okay? So we found that the Gini, this is the one, okay? আবার যদি বাইনারি স্প্লিট করি, তাহলে স্পোর্টস এন্ড লাক্সারি একত্র করতে পারি, অথবা ফ্যামিলি এন্ড লাক্সারিকে একত্র করতে পারি। স্পোর্ট এন্ড লাক্সারিকে যদি একত্র করি, we get a Gini of this, and কার্ড টাইপের জন্য we get a Gini of this one, ঠিক আছে? এখন বলেন কোনটা বেস্ট for you in this example? Higher Gini the best, na lower Gini the best?
লোয়ার গিনি।
লোয়ার গিনি স্যার।
Lower Gini the best. So for this example, your multiple split would be the best one to do. Look into. ঠিক আছে? Is that clear নাকি না? Yeah.
Yes.
কিন্তু আপনি যদি এখন রেস্ট্রিক্ট করে দেন, ডিসিশন ট্রিকে বলেন না আমি সবসময় বাইনারি স্প্লিটই চাই, আমি মাল্টিপল স্প্লিট চাই না। বাইনারি স্প্লিট চাইলে তাহলে এই দুটার মধ্যে কোনটা বেস্ট হবে?
স্যার ডান পাশে
কার্ড টাইপ স্যার।
Last up, right? While sports is one side, family and luxury on the other side. So eventually the question is, যে কোনটাকে আমরা ডিসাইড করছি, it depends on what level of impurity does it give. ঠিক আছে? Is it clear নাকি না?
জি স্যার।
So that's the really the idea. ঠিক আছে? Okay. Last thing that I'm going to show you is over here. How do you find out the Gini index? Okay, right? For continuous attribute. এই যে annual income এর জন্য যে আমরা এখানে করেছিলাম না মনে আছে, right? Do you remember here? Annual income এর ক্ষেত্রে we did a weird thing over here. Okay, we made a decision income কি less than 80k and greater than 80k. How did we come to that? 80k টা কোথা থেকে আসলো? কারণ you can't see, you can't have any idea from 80k from here, right? নাকি না? Clear? So আমাদের যদি কোনো continuous attribute থাকে, how do we actually find out, you know, how do you split it? So that's also important. ঠিক আছে? Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, so continuous attribute. So in case of continuous attribute like annual income, okay, how do we compute the Gini index here? Okay, so now there are many ways to do that. So let me show you. Now we usually do এখানে এই ক্ষেত্রে আমি দেখেছিলাম annual income less than equal to 80 and greater than 80 এভাবে স্প্লিট করেছি, and 80k দিয়ে কেন স্প্লিট করলাম is a very important question. Okay, so I'm going to show you how exactly to do. Now let's have a look. So this is the algorithm behind this. Okay, একটু দেখবো? Hello, ready guys?
স্যার।
So for continuous attribute, this is what we're going to do. First, we sort the attribute on values. Then we make a linear scan to these values, each time updating the count matrix and computing the Gini index. And then finally, we will choose the split position that has the least Gini index. Acha, let me explain this one. Okay. এখানে annual income দেখেন কি কি আছে, values গুলো কি কি আছে? What are the different values we have here? 125k, 100k, 70k, 120k, 95k, 60k, and so on, right? Clear? Yes? ঠিক আছে?
Yes sir.
আচ্ছা, first কাজ যেটা করছি, we are going to sort the attribute on value. So আমি attribute values যেগুলো আছে সেগুলোকে ascending order এ sort করি, or non-decreasing order এ sort করি. So this is the answer. 60, then 70, then 75, 85, 90 up to 220. ঠিক আছে? You can see we have the highest one is 220 and the lowest one is 60. So did we sort it in the ascending order? Yes. ঠিক আছে?
Yes sir.
Okay. Now for each of these 60 যখন ছিল, what's the corresponding value? Corresponding output? No. Okay? 60 যখন এখানে, তখন the corresponding output is no. This default borrower is no. So target value টা কি হবে সেটা আমি লিখছি। 70k যখন, তখন no, 75 no, 85 yes, 90 yes, 95 yes, 100 no, 120 no, 125 no, 220 no. ঠিক আছে? Are we good? Yes. So we first wrote the sorted attribute on values. ঠিক আছে? Next thing that we're gonna do over here is we're gonna linearly scan these values. So এক একটা ভ্যালুকে স্ক্যান করে দেব each time, updating the count matrix and computing the Gini index. Now what does that mean? Okay, so you have the sorted values here. We're gonna make some split positions here. Okay, আচ্ছা আমি পুরোটুকু নিয়ে আসি, তাহলে it's better to see. This is for you guys to see over here. So here are the values we have: 60, 70, 75, 85, 90, 95, blah, blah, blah. Now we will have a split position. Now what's a split position? আচ্ছা দেখাচ্ছি আমি একটু kindly. এখানে দেখেন 60 and 70. 60 and 70 average কত?
65.
65. So that's 65. 70 and 75 average কত? Something like 72.5. So let's say 72. Is that okay? ঠিক আছে? Is this clear?
Yes sir.
75 and 85 average হচ্ছে 80. 85 and 90 average হচ্ছে 87.5. Let's write 87. 90 and 95 92.5. Let's write 92. 95 and 100 97.5. 100 and 120. This is 110. 122.5. This is 172. Okay. Now আমরা এটা আগেও একটা স্প্লিট করব। 60 আগে আমি জাস্ট 55 লিখলাম, আর এখানে 220 পরে 225 ও লিখতে পারি, বাট লেটস জাস্ট কিপ ইট অ্যাজ 220 230. Is that okay? So these are called split positions. তার মানে average middle point between these, ঠিক আছে? Okay. এখন দেখেন এখানে smaller than equal to আর এখানে greater than রাখছি, smaller than equal to greater than প্রত্যেকটার জন্য, okay? And okay, let's have a count here. 55 smaller than equal to 55 কয়টা আছে? Smaller than equal to 55 একটাও নাই, কারণ মিনিমাম ছিল 60, তার মানে 0 and 0. Greater than 55 কয়টা আছে? Greater than 55 3 and 7 10টা আছে, ঠিক আছে? ওকে, 10টা কেন? It's because if you see over here আমার এখানে all together 10টা instances আছে এবং প্রত্যেকটাই 55 এর বড়, কারেক্ট নাকি না? Is that okay? Yes.
স্যার এটা একটু আবার বলবেন?
কোনটা কোনটা কোনটা?
স্যার এই যে লাস্ট পার্টটা, গ্রেটার দেন পার্টটা।
55 এর বড় কতগুলো instances আছে? You tell me. 55 এর বড় কতগুলো আছে বলেন আমাকে? All of them.
All of them, yes.
Right, so that's how much of them?
স্যার 10টা।
10টা। 10টার মধ্যে কতগুলো নো আর কতগুলো ইয়েস? I can write this down. Yes নাকি না?
ওকে, yes.
এই 10টার মধ্যে 3টা ইয়েস আর 7টা নো, কারেক্ট নাকি না? ক্লিয়ার?
Yes, sir. বুঝতে পারছি।
Similarly, can I find 65 এর থেকে কম কয়টা আছে? 65 এর মধ্যে কম হচ্ছে একটাই, যেটা 60, ঠিক আছে? So that's a no, 60, ঠিক আছে? 65 এর বড় কয়টা আছে? বড় হচ্ছে 9টা, তাই না? ক্লিয়ার নাকি না? Yes. 9টার মধ্যে ইয়েস কয়টা, নো কয়টা, এইভাবে ভাগ করতে পারবো আমরা নাকি না? Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
ঠিক আছে নাকি ঠিক নাই বলেন? হ্যালো,
ঠিক আছে স্যার।
এটা ঠিক আছে সবার? Is that
Yes,
okay?
sir.
ইয়েস স্যার।
আচ্ছা, এখন দেখেন এই প্রত্যেকটার জন্য এই যে স্মলার দেন ইকুয়াল টু এখানে গেল, গ্রেটার দেন ইকুয়াল টু এখানে, এইটার কি একটা গিনি ভ্যালু বের করতে পারবো না?
স্যার পারবো স্যার।
পারবো। 0 0 3 7, তাহলে এটা গিনি ভ্যালু বের করতে পারবো। পারলে এটা কত আসে? 0.42। 0 1 আর 3 6 এই দুটো ক্লাস আলাদা আলাদা, ঠিক আছে? ওকে ওকে, 0 1 আর 3 6, again I can find out the Gini, that's the value of there, ঠিক আছে? I can find the Gini for each of them and then find out the splitting position with the lowest Gini index. Which one is the lowest Gini index? Lowest Gini কোনটা? I guess 0.3. Isn't that the lowest Gini index?
Yes sir.
নাকি না?
Yes sir.
That's the lowest Gini index, right? If that's the lowest Gini index over here, okay, right? Then what's the corresponding splitting position therefore?
97.
97. So you should ideally split it at 97k. ঠিক আছে? Okay. ওখানে 80k দিয়ে করেছে, but we should have split I mean according to this algorithm using the Gini index, we could have split it at using 97k. So less than equal to 97k or greater than 97k. Is that clear নাকি না? Yes?
Yes, sir.
ঠিক আছে?
স্যার একটা কোশ্চেন স্যার।
Yeah.
স্যার এই যে 55 টা স্যার কি জন্য কিভাবে আনছি আর ওই 230 টা কি লাস্টে স্প্লিটিং
Okay. So that's fine. So you see over here we have got, well, okay. So what we can do is this one. So we have 60 here. 60 আগে তো কিছু নাই, তাই না? Yes?
Yes sir.
আগে কিছু না। So because we are dividing somewhere in the middle, ঠিক আছে? এখানে আমার 65 আছে। So you could actually 60 এর আগে তুমি নিজে একটা চিন্তা করে রাখতে পারো। Let's imagine we have got 50. Then in that case we should have 55 here. ঠিক আছে? So 220 পরে I don't have anything over here. ঠিক আছে? But you can imagine maybe we have a 230 or something like that. So we can put something like that. But এটা যে 230 হতে বা এমন কোনো কথা নাই, তুমি 225 দেখতে চাইলে that's fine, that's still fine.
So এটা কি
ঠিক আছে? It's just a little adjustment you have to make on that side. ঠিক আছে?
এটা কি
That's clear?
এটা কি
Yes.
র্যান্ডম ধরে নিব?
Yes sir.
হ্যাঁ, মানে but ইন্টারভালটা অলমোস্ট ইকুয়ালি তো থাকে, ঠিক আছে? So that should not be a big issue. ঠিক আছে?
Okay, sir.
এটা খুব একটা difficulty হবে না এখানে. Is that okay?
Okay sir.
Right. So this is how in a continuous value you find out the splitting position. Now, that's one algorithm we have. I think আমাদের কি টাইম শেষ হয়ে যাচ্ছে?
Yes sir, time শেষ।
অলরেডি শেষ স্যার।
আচ্ছা, right, ঠিক আছে, অসুবিধা নেই। But did you understand how did we use a Gini to actually, grow a decision tree? এটা বুঝে গেছে নাকি না?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ঠিক আছে, I there's a lot of mathematics I understand, ঠিক আছে, but I think you just stick to follow করেন and you should be fine, ঠিক আছে? Okay, এরপরে আমি জাস্ট দেখেছি, আপনাদের কোনটা দেখেছি, I just showed you the use of Gini to find find out the best split. There are other measures of splitting as well, like entropy, ঠিক আছে? All right, then we have got something called misclassification error and stuff like that, ঠিক আছে? But we'll see that in the next class. Next class is tomorrow, তাই না? আচ্ছা, I'll take 2 more minutes after this. Let me